Hey, it's Get Into Tech with James, and today we're going to talk about how to finish a tech bootcamp fast. I know you might be in a position where you really need to start making money, but you really want to take this tech bootcamp because you know it will lead to a job where you're going to be making a decent salary, but you need that money now, but you got to take the camp. It's stressful and overwhelming. Well, here are 5 tips to help you get through that tech bootcamp fast, really know the material, and get in the job market. Let's shake and bake. These 5 tips are going to help you get through your bootcamp fast, but also at a pace where you can absorb the material so you actually don't botch the final exam and do well. Now, these are going to refer mostly to self-paced boot camps. It's also going to refer to my favorite boot camp, which was tech sales through Course Careers. So you'll hear me reference that a lot in the video. So the number 1 tip is to set specific goals and then do your best to achieve them every day. Now, for me, based on my experience, I signed up for this tech sales boot camp on January 6th, and I started studying on January 9th. Now, I wanted to take that final exam on February 1st. That was my goal. I was able to allocate 4 to 6 hours, maybe a little more, every time I sat down to study on the course. I did this 4 or 5 days a week. One week, I think I did 6 days because I was just fired up, motivated. It was so good.
And his name is John Cena. He's gonna get in the ring.
So what I did was I said, okay, the 1st of February, I want to take the exam. I went back, let's do about 10% of the class per day. That would leave me with like a week to do some final exam studying too. Well, life got in the way. I ended up sometimes hitting 10%, sometimes not, sometimes exceeding it. But then by the time I was done, I had about 4 days left where I could just review the material before I took the final exam. So that worked out great. Set specific goals, achieve them, and especially set an exam date for yourself. Next tip, number 2, is take notes or screenshots when you are in your bootcamp. For me, I was writing down notes, but there was so much information in this tech sales course that I wanted to know. My hand was cramping and I had to stop the video a lot to catch up. Someone gave me the great advice to start doing screenshots of what was on the slide in the video. So I started doing that instead. And that worked out great. Screenshots of the slides in the video. I put them in a folder. I labeled them so I knew exactly what they were. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next chapter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I would put those in Google Drive, and I was able to flip through those whenever I was sitting waiting for somebody, or I was in a drive-through line or something for food. I could just flip through those slides and review right there. So that really helps. Another little tip that goes along with this is you can speed up the videos sometimes. They'll have an option where you click on like the 3 little dots or something, and it'll say playback speed. I was watching these at 1.25. You may be someone who can absorb material at 1.50 speed, but 1.25 was perfect for me. I got through the videos in 2/3 of the time than I normally would, or 3/4 of the time than I normally would. So that will save you some time too and help you get through this course fast. So tip number 3, you are not the first person to take this boot camp. There are a lot of people who probably have taken it. So do some research and see if anybody has created a final exam study guide. A lot of these boot camps will have people who have graduated that have materials that they have saved from the class, and they kind of want to help you. So they will, if you ask, you shall receive. And if not, you can create your own study guide of the main points of each section and use that as a way to go into the final. So get a study guide or create your own study guide. That way, because there's going to be a lot of material in these boot camps. It's just so much.
That is one big pile of shit.
Get the information that's most important, that you think is most important, and create a study guide or find a study guide from a past student. Tip number 4, team up with others. So understand, you are not the first person to take this tech boot camp. As a matter of fact, you're not the only person who's currently going through the tech boot camp. So if you can, see if there's a way that you can team up with your fellow classmates and help each other. What's great about Course Careers is they use Discord. And of course you can use the Discord chat, but they had specified times when small groups would get together twice a week to share tips and advice that they've helped them get through the class or that they're using to get through the class. And a lot of these tips you're hearing now came from those Discord meetings. So if you can, find a way to connect with your fellow students, help each other. And another bonus tip here is to see if you can find someone who can be your mentor through the class. Because there are people, of course, who have graduated and moved on and now they're in the working world, and that's great. Why not hit them up? Here's a good way to do it. Go to LinkedIn, search up whatever bootcamp you're in. For instance, you could type in course careers and find people who have graduated and now working, and connect with them on LinkedIn and ask for advice if you need help. Hey, I see that you've gone through the course. I'm having problems with this section. What do you think? They'll probably be more than happy to help you. And not only that, you made a valuable connection, someone who's working who may be able to refer you if you guys hit it off and possibly help you get a job. So that's tip number 4. Tip number 5, last tip, and that is actually do the work. If you're going to be a student who just shows up and just kind of breezes through the videos real quick and takes some notes here and there, and then you look at the final and maybe just get like a study guide for the final and go, okay, I'll memorize this and take the class, and then you pass with a mid-level grade, you're wasting your time and you're wasting your money. These boot camps, especially through course careers, they really have material that you're going to use in your actual job, in the real world. So if you learn it, great. But if you can do it, it's even better. Practice the things that they're teaching you. For instance, in the tech sales and course careers, they have a course project where you actually sit down, you do research, you find companies, and you create an outreach cadence, which is what you do as a sales development rep. So it's very important that you actually do the work that you're learning, not just learning the work, okay?
You can do it! You can do it!
That's it, you guys. Those are your 5 tips to get you through that boot camp as fast as possible with the most information that your brain can absorb and get you graduated, get you that certificate, and get you out in the job market. I know these 5 tips are really going to help you get through your tech bootcamp quickly, but also at a pace where you can absorb the material that you need to absorb. So if you're interested in course careers and taking one of their courses, follow the link below and also use the discount code GETINTOTECH50 to save $50 off of your course. In the meantime, like and subscribe to me. I have more of this stuff coming at you every other day or so, all right?